Usamos estampillas también.
Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track on the floor, scoring more. It's 94, and the Knicks are hardcore. And I'll tell you like this, we ain't never looked sharper. With Hubert, Bonner, Gray, and Harper, it's the Knicks, and we're back on pace. Everyone's gearing up for the championship race, and the fans are going crazy, and they're doing it for a reason. Cause 94 is the Knickerbocker season. You better believe the Knicks got all that it takes. We're shooting three-pointers, and we're running fast breaks, and if your defense makes a mistake, then BAM! Ewing dunks in your face. This is a team you don't wanna miss. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. So yo, bust it. All you hear is a swish. Threes by Starks and dunks by Smith. And no rebounds. If that's the case, we put Oakley and Mace in your face. We draw charges and we set picks. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Welcome to Violent People Radio, episode 48. I'm your host, Dan Rice. I'm joined by Sam. How's it going, Sam?
Hello. Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing pretty great. Pat, how about you? How you doing?
I had a tree fall against my house, and then I
Okay.
lost
All right.
internet for like a day. It was messed up.
All right. It feels like maybe you're claiming some of our life stories, but
The thing is, all these things definitely happened to me.
yesterday, did you spend 8 hours in the ER with your aunt just to find out she has like plantar fasciitis in her foot?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I also was keyed into something called a clue report about my homeowner's insurance.
You've had quite a week.
It's been all over the place. I
Well,
worked at a bar where big things are happening, or wherever Chris works. I forget where Chris works. I think a bar. But also, it's me.
Chris, do they serve alcohol at the coffee shop you work at?
At one of the two locations I work at, we have alcohol.
Oh, that's cool as hell. I was just joking, but
Yeah, I don't know why I always remember you working in a bar, and then you talk about like groups of like young people coming in. I'm like, they shouldn't be doing that.
how goes the good
Because of
fight?
how often I'm at a bar otherwise.
Yeah, that is it. You really should work at a bar. It would cut down on commute time.
It's true.
All right, we are recording on a Thursday because I selfishly asked to move the podcast to Tuesday, and then none of us could do it for varying reasons. So I can't do Wednesdays for a while. And it turns out that worked out well because Sam had no internet for like 48 hours.
Yeah, I would not be able to do it last night.
And so we all had, 8 days, an extra day. So I'm sure we've all watched more wrestling than usual. Chris, how much wrestling have you watched?
I watched some wrestling, which is more than usual.
That is more than usual. Let's get into it.
You hear of this company called All Elite Wrestling?
No.
No.
Anymore.
I'm an AIW guy, not an AEW guy.
Fuck. I hate that.
Absolute intense wrestling.
Well, I was at a bar and saw AEW because it was on after the playoffs. And so I watched over half an episode of AEW Collision while drunk. And always love having a few brews and then Blake Christian is on your screen.
Hell yeah.
And because he's Vanilla Baby. And I did enjoy Tony Storm versus Queen Aminata. It was a solid little match there. The hologram Max Caster little thing. I enjoy the Max Caster Open challenge where he loses. That's a fun gimmick. The Crew versus Top Flight. Finally having a little match there. Also very fun TV match. Yeah, I also decided to check out like AEW last night too, because I was so excited. And they are putting on pretty decent TV right now. And that's really all I had the attention span for. Is pretty decent TV. But now that I've given myself a week to recover from VP 100, I have this big pile of old lucha I am going to watch in my time off.
Maybe round it up.
Yeah, maybe round some of it up. You know, it's just an unruly stack right now, and it needs taming. It needs the old indie lucha cowboy Chris to lasso it up and get it all in the ranch. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really watched anything other than AEW, but it is a very pleasant TV promotion, which is the take everyone loves. Is just like, yeah, it's fun enough TV. What more do you fucking want?
No one likes a balanced approach, Chris. Let's start putting your thumb on the scale. Is it great or does it suck?
Only options.
Is the best TV I've ever watched.
There we go.
Hurry here, folks. Fuck Mad Men.
Yeah, fuck Mad Men, The Shield, or Twin Peaks. It's even better than Oz.
When is Tony Storm gonna win an Emmy?
Bridge too far. What? Great question.
She should win a Tony.
She should win a Tony.
I keep saying this.
But I think that we are all in agreement that the blanket policy on Violent People Radio is that All Elite Wrestling TV is firmly in the "we're so back" category, at least until such time as we hear back about Dean 3 press credentials.
We can and will be bought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why we'd have an issue getting into Dean as important journalists. Breaking.
I got a tip. Anyone can get in the Dean 2 for sure.
That's true. It's free. It's free.
They've already announced the Cybernetico.
Oh, I missed this.
Yeah, they've announced this 10-man Cybernetico featuring CMLL, AEW, and Dean wrestlers. Which I guess Dean 1 is just the official roster for Dean at this point. Don't know how that works.
You know what Gringo Loco's doing.
You bet your ass.
You described exactly what it was, and I still had to pull it up. I'm like, okay, make sure he's not lying.
Yeah, no one wrestlers announced yet.
Yeah.
No actual matches announced yet. But
Which
you have
only 3 weeks away.
Yeah. 3 weeks away. 0 actual matches announced. What more could you want?
To be fair, again, they don't have to. It's free, so
it's free. So like, put it on. I'm there. I'm already signed up.
It's also AEW, so we're generally lucky if we know what is happening on a show like more than 3 days before the show happens.
That is very true. I saw I think it was Phil sharing like a tribute from Samoa Joe
Yes.
from when Dean died. Samoa Joe talking about Dean Rasmussen, so hopefully that's a little teaser that Joe. I mean, if you have access to Samoa Joe, like, yeah, the Phil Schneider is gonna fucking take that if he's there. So that's
So
kind of a slam dunk.
Why would you put the trios titles on the Ops if not to have the main event Dean?
That's true. Fucking love the Ops. I love all
That was
the.
inspired booking.
I love all the like mid card stuff. I mean, that's kind of what's been like always good about AEW is that they just have a really strong group of people who can wrestle. And the Ops are a fun tag team. Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Hot take. Very good wrestlers.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Perhaps the best thing of that Boston Dynamite I went to was that I did get to see Shibata in a main event match. That was like an unrealized. I think a previous show I'd been to had him in like a Ring of Honor like 3-minute special.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him in an quote unquote actual match made me very very happy.
Okay, so let's fantasy book real fast. The Ops versus Cruel and the Ugly Ducklings.
Sold.
All right, I'm just trying to think.
I mean, if you have a chance to put Samoa Joe and Damus in the same ring and you don't do it, that's like the dumbest possible thing anyone could opt to do.
Actually,
Think-
for real though, was it Hoodfoot, Broner, and Danny Demento? Was that a team on Dean 1?
I can't remember if Danny Demento was on that team, but yes.
There we go. There's the obvious opponents for the Ops.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get Danny on the card.
You got it anytime you
On
can.
the other hand,
He's the SCI.
I'm imagining Shibata versus Tank, and I'm
Oh
not
my
sure
God.
you can like it. I'm not sure you can get better than that combination.
I'll have to remove his brain again.
As long as like like the one thing that I hope is that Warhorse is calling them like can I get on the show, and they are just letting it go to voicemail.
No, they like Warhorse.
Yeah.
So
God
it ain't
damn.
happening. I had to be there in real time to hear them talk up Cruel versus Warhorse as it was happening. So they're.
I think it was much better than people reacted to, like it was, but I don't
Oh
want to.
my God!
I don't.
Dan.
I don't want to defend that match.
Congratulations, Dan.
I mean, I did in real time too. I thought it was fine. People acted like it was the fucking worst thing that ever happened to them.
No,
It was.
we did have some people saying it was like, this actually fucking rules. I'm like, well, I don't know about that, Jazz. I don't know about that.
On the fantasy booking end, though, Sam, this is especially aimed at you.
Mm.
If you have the access to the AEW and CMLL talent pools, who do you pit against Bobby Flacco?
Holy shit. What a great question. Who is like the fattest wrestler of these promotions?
They're not real
And-
fat
and-
guy promotions.
We're calling in like Volcano.
Yeah, I was gonna say Volcano or Cranios probably.
What about Paul
Get me
White?
here. Paul, yeah, there we go. That's actually the
Ooh.
dream match. Thank you, Dan. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I got you. I know your
Thank
brain works.
you. Needed that
All
one.
Now, Pat, I thought you were coming after him for a similar angle, but I thought because, as we know, covering what we put on the site this week, I did break the news that Makabe and Danielson are wrestling. Now, Daniel, they needed till Dean 3. They're not ready yet. They're not in ring shape. I can also announce that Sam's not in ring shape, so we're not getting Sam versus Damus just yet.
Dean 3, though.
Dean 3, maybe he has some time to, get back on the treadmill.
I've started running. I'm coming for you.
ECW Arena
Yeah,
is the home of throwing chairs.
You better run.
Oh my goodness.
All right, but Pat,
Anyway.
did you watch wrestling in the last 8 days?
I watched a bit.
All right.
I watched. Do you guys remember Terry Funk versus Tommy Rich from ECW Crossing the Line Again, February 1997?
Of course.
One, I do not. But two, I thought at first you were just asking if we remembered Terry Funk. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys remember it.
Which one?
No, that's what I do with like a chat with other friends of mine where I'm just like, you guys remember when like DDP was European champion? And they all go like yes, like expecting there to be more than. I'm like, no, that I was just thinking about that. That's all I got. But I did watch Terry Funk versus Tommy Rich for the first time in a few years, and very, very good match. Tommy Rich, I think I enjoy watching fat piece of shit Tommy Rich more than I do like anything that I've seen of Tommy Rich in his prime, because he's so good at being a fat piece of shit. And the energy in the ECW arena, like it was an ugly, ugly spot, and they channeled it very well. It's a great match for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's on YouTube. That's where I watched it, and it is mostly punching and crowd brawling and chair stuff. And Tommy Rich looking like he just escaped some kind of unethical medical experiment. But everything, he does all of the important stuff so well. He can't like do like sequences, many moves, but he can bait the crowd and antagonize them and get them loud. And because it's ECW, the crowd is all mutants, and they fall for it hook, line, and sinker, and it just feeds the energy of this really chaotic fight. I also watched the polar opposite of this match, which was Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton on some episode of, I think, SmackDown,
Tiffy time.
where the announcers outright said, this is a dream match between two people who have been wrestling for, I want to say, a combined length of like maybe 6 years. It ended with a DQ, so clearly they think that there's more to be done on this. I don't know. I mean, there's not much to say, but I think that like if you put a gun to my head and said you need to write 300 words about Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, most of those words would be about how the WWE ring gear designers need to rethink their current approach to things, because I feel like in a lot of the matches I've watched recently, the women have to adjust their tops a lot, and it throws me out of the match when like the camera. This happened in the Jade versus Tiffany thing. Jade has Tiffany in like a chokehold, and instead of selling that she's in a chokehold, Tiffany's hands are like pulling her top up, and it's one of those moments where I'm just kind of like, okay, so you're not actually being choked out because you're thinking about adjusting your shirt. I don't know. They gotta figure something out. They gotta just have him wrestle full time in the fucking Saudi Arabia gear, I guess.
Seems like a
As
fix.
for other stuff, I just watched random things here and there. For some reason, I watched half of Rob Van Dam versus William Regal at WrestleMania X8, and then I paused it and never finished watching it. But it was fun to remember Rob Van Dam and William Regal. Sadly, both of them have passed away. Same with watching. I think I still have the tab open, so I can look right at it, or maybe I closed it. But it was from Jake Roberts, not his legendary AAA run, but that weird period in 1997 where WWF and AAA were working together. So Jake the Snake Kid came back to AAA, and the trio of Jake Roberts, Rick Bogner as Razor Ramon and Mayor Glenn Jacobs as Diesel versus Cibernetico, Perro Aguayo, and Pierrot Jr. And I got just knowing that at one
Kills.
point in 1997, Kane versus Perro Aguayo actually happened. It blows my mind. It just, I think these "What Did You Watch" segments are going to include in the near future a lot of me saying, "Oh, I watched '90s AAA and it kicks ass," because it does all kick ass.
Now everyone
Yeah,
wants
it
to
used
jump
to
on
be
the
good.
AAA bandwagon.
I mean, I've long held that
No, I know you're.
the best promoter of all time was Antonio Pena. He didn't have the business success that Vince did, but in terms of making wrestling shows that I want to see, he hit it out of the park.
Now I know that Pat said that RVD has sadly passed away. Do you all know that he broke both his heels at Battle Riot?
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that's awesome.
Doing what is my
when he got
question.
when he got eliminated, he got knocked off the top rope. I guess he
Oh.
landed just flat on his feet on the ground.
He's like the last person I would expect to get injured from something silly like that.
Well, I mean, Riddle's a shooter. You gotta
Yeah,
watch out.
yeah.
Any other wrestling you watched in the last week or so?
No, nothing that really would be interesting for anyone. A lot of my wrestling watching right now is just me plugging in like WWF 2000 Steve Blackman into YouTube and just seeing what pops up. Like, WCW Saturday Night Raven.
That's a fun game to play. Sam, I specifically went to you last though because I only watched 5 matches in the last 8 days, and I see in the Discord that you stole one of my 5 matches. So go ahead and talk about what you've watched. Maybe you won't, Sam.
Shamed him into silence.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'll talk about what I've watched.
He
And so
is
now I've
currently incapacitated by the power of Tobias Harris.
He did say that there's a chance his computer would crash during this
Yeah,
episode.
I'm having some issues here, but let's talk about the professional wrestling I watched. What match did I steal of yours? Jun Nakayama versus Daiki Odashima
Yeah, I watched that match.
from Fortune Dream 10. The only match I will watch from that show, I feel like. At some point, I'll probably get to that main event, but not today, not tomorrow, not 6 months from now. Dan, what did you think? I thought this was a Who of the Year contender.
I fucking loved it. I will admit I don't know that I've watched Odashima before. Not up to date on my know like it should be, I guess.
Oof,
I thought it fucking
sad.
ruled. And now it's like Akiyama, it's like, is he at his best when he's just the old man and the rookie? Like, fuck all that middle part of his career. I also think it's funny that this is like such like a petty internet thing. I remember like getting in a fight with a good friend of the show, Jonathan Snowden, that had been blocked me briefly because he said that Jun Akiyama could barely walk at this point in his life. And this was like 3-4 years ago, and this guy's still out there wrestling, kicking ass.
Just clarifying point, John Snowden, friend of Dan?
Friend of Sam.
I don't know him.
Friend
I
Uh,
don't know the man.
friend to all.
Friend of all.
certified,
About it, yeah.
certified freak.
You're not gonna watch this
Um,
main event. Why do you lie? Is it for the Discord? What are you doing?
In 6 months, I'll watch it. Or, you know,
Shut up. You'll watch it,
And
and when
someone
someone else
said-
brings it up, you'll go, "Okay, yeah, I saw that."
I'll watch it. When someone says, oh, yeah, Saray or Maiko, they are top 5 wrestlers of the year, I'll be like, I guess I'll watch it. But I did some of that this year, Dan. Don't question my dedication to my craft. No, this match rocked. Jun Akiyama reminding me of 2010 Masafuji out there. Complimentary. Other than that, didn't watch a whole bunch. Watched Dynamite Kid versus Kanyoki Kobayashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling January 1984. Good match. Dynamite Kid, truly the Davey Richards of his time. Unfairly maligned. That's what I mean there. Unfairly maligned. This match is
Pistons take the lead at the half.
All right. Well, Dan, we're all watching the game. You don't need to talk about it.
Just letting people
You don't
know.
need to talk about it.
All right.
You need to talk about it.
You don't need to talk about it. You don't need to talk about it.
When do we get the fruit of all this 1984 labor? I assume you have some giant write up for the site coming.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right.
It's
gonna be it's
Dan,
like
I have been
Henry
watching this
Gardner
for
style.
like 4 months, and I'm halfway through a month. What do you want me to do here?
I don't know.
What kind of content is that?
In 20 years, Sam's gonna pass away, and they're gonna find like the 200,000 page exegesis he wrote on 1984 wrestling that he did just entirely for himself.
It's just for me.
This is not going to help my. This is not going to help
What's
my
up,
rep, but I do have to mention that I said I watched. What did I say? I watched 6 matches or 5 matches, and you took one of them. Because I didn't write down that I fell asleep during the Miko Satomura retirement, but it was really late. It's not like a judgment.
It's pretty late. It was like 8 p.m.
No, it was like
shit.
1:30 in the morning.
Where?
But I realized I didn't write that down because I didn't want to get yelled at. But I'm like, I fell asleep during that shit.
Oh, yeah. I also watched Butch Reed versus Tito Santana from January 1984 from Houston. I'm not a big Butch Reed guy or a big Tito Santana guy. I adored this match. A lot to dig. Heel Butch Reed is good stuff. Heck yeah. Anyway, watch some CMLL. It's such a comforting promotion. It's all good stuff. Who gives a shit? I have canceled my subscription to the CMLL YouTube. Yeah, I know. So I have it for a few more days, and then it is gone.
But not
For
forgotten.
But not forgotten. There's a good chance I'll wait like a week and be like, no other wrestling's hitting. I got to get back to this CMLL. Give it to me. Ray Kamita. He still got it. Why is no one talking about it? Why is everyone like, wow, Blue Panther. Look at him go. I like Blue Panther. Let's talk about Ray Kamita. That's a 14-year-old man. He's doing the spinniest shit you've ever seen.
14-year-old man?
For a 2-year-old man.
I think you said 14, and I'm like,
Illegal. I think when he wrestles in a match with Fugaz, I think Fugaz is a 14-year-old child. He is the mini of Dragon Lee. I find that very funny. But yeah, I think I watched like the best singular performance I've watched from 2025 with Virus in a trios match on the January 17th CMLL show. Dude's just kicking ass, taking names, doing things that I think are borderline problematic to Dolce Gardenia. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's kind of a week, Dan. Oh, I also watched Carter Black versus Adam Priest because Tim said to watch it. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I don't know.
Got his ass.
Carter Black should have the mask back. Give me a mysterious cue.
Okay, I guess I can talk my wrestling I've watched. I watched the Akiyama match. I thought that the Odashima selling was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. People should watch it. I watched the DPW title fight in Vegas main event, which was Ultimate Conflict 12-man elimination match. Adam Priest versus BK Westbrook versus Brian Keith versus Kelvin Tankman versus Kevin Blackwood versus Luke Jacobs versus Mad Dog Connolly versus Matt Tremont versus Michael Oku versus Thomas Shire versus Titus Alexander and Trevor Lee. I don't know why I felt the need to list them all out. This fucking ruled. I felt some people talking about it online. I think it was amazing. I love this. Because there's a lot of guys I don't like in this that much. Like, not big on Luke Jacobs or Michael Oku or really Titus Alexander if he's not in a tag match. But this like Royal Rumble style match is like perfect because you don't have to see like all the in between stuff that like they really suck at. They just come in, do a quick spot, and they move on. This is the best Trevor Lee's looked in, I don't know, 6 years. I don't know, however long it's been.
Did he grow his hair back out?
No, that's not the best he physically looked. I meant in the ring.
Oh.
I thought he
Hate
was
that
the star of
shit.
this. I liked Calvin Tankman in this a lot, which I can sometimes be hot and cold on him, but he was really good in this. And then Adam Priest, he stole the show. He won and then stole the show like he does. And it built I'm totally over Matt Tremont for the most part. I think he's like a zombie, like a corpse. And I think he should probably not wrestle anymore, but they got me wanting to see him versus Mad Dog a lot. It really got me going for that match. And I just think this accomplished a lot of what you would want a match like this to accomplish, and good shit. Then I watched on a different kind of show on Black Label
it's on
Pro
that.
at Squared Circle Expo. I watched Joshua Bishop versus Raj Desi. And
Where did you watch this show, Dan?
Where did I watch this show?
Where did you watch this?
IWTV.
IWTV. Triller, suck my balls. You lost.
Oh,
if you can't even keep Black Label Pro, who made a big fucking stink about leaving the world of IWTV, and we got who's the hype guy? Who's the hype WWE wrestler? Gronk's friend,
Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley has taken his fucking business to Dylan Waco, we got fucking problems. Pack it up.
The way you asked that, I thought I was in trouble. I was like,
I thought he was about
I'm watching an illegal website. Sorry, guys.
I thought he was about to plug that guy's Patreon again.
No, but you can't actually watch that Ricky Shane Page, Drake Younger show on his Patreon, Dan. So
I honestly, I might. Oh, you can't.
You can.
Oh, you can. Okay, so I might pay for that, which is really stupid. I think Joshua Bishop might be my favorite wrestler, and he also might work for the two worst promotions in the world. Almost exclusively. He's such I feel like Black Label Pro and AIW are his number 2 or 1 and 2 promotions, and they're both so fucking bad. I mean, I didn't even watch this show, but I'm just scrolling through it, bummed me out. It's there's Frank the Clown and Tony Atlas. There's Shaza. There's fucking. You got Myron Reeves, super crazy, pretty high up on the card. Danhausen. It's just this is garbage. But Josh Bishop looked awesome in this, and it was just a fun fucking 10-minute match. And it's I wish that he would go to promotion where it's I can at least fantasy book who will he face. But I'm I don't want to watch Josh Bishop face anyone in this card. Now I'll watch him face anyone in this card because he's Josh Bishop. But it's so bad. And
Dan, real quick, just to let you know, that show is on IWTV.
That's why I watched it. So that's what's confused me.
No, Miyasama 2, Ruthless Pro, the Drake Younger, Ricky Shane Page.
Oh, that match is on IWTV.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, I can save my money. I don't have to give it to Blake.
You're going to save your money. It won't be filmed as expertly.
Mm-hmm.
So, do with that what you will.
I'll somehow survive,
Okay, if you say so.
I'm going to try my best. Also, I got to mention that I had 2 of these matches that I watched. A little birdie, dropped in my ear, gave me some access to the Dusk Pro show. Unrelated. Thanks again for coming on the show, Parm. And I think it's supposed to be up maybe by the time you're listening to this. I don't know. He's been like Sam. He's had a lot of internet problems. I haven't got to watch the whole show because I've been crazy busy the last day, but I watched Evan Rivers versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. And it was really good. And Evan Rivers, 1, was bigger than El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., which I did not expect. And 2, just looked awesome. And between this and him on the Dragon Gate show, I don't think people are able to break out anymore at all. I just don't know how that even works in the indie world we're in anymore. But I just think that if he had those 2 performances, in Mania Week years ago, he'd be getting more buzz and we'd be seeing more Evan Rivers everywhere. As is, he'll probably still just be stuck in the promotion he already works in because that's just kind of the way this stuff seems to work.
I don't know. He could get ID'd.
Goddamn. Why would you do that to the poor man?
Big time.
Could be start working Evolve.
Gabe's Polsky's Evolve 2.0.
on Tubi?
On Tubi.
On Tubi.
The people streaming service.
But yeah, check that out. And then I watched the main event of Mad Dog Connolly versus Amira, and this fucking ruled. They had so many great ways of making you believe that like Amira, could survive in a dog collar match with a Mad Dog Connolly. Everything they did looked awesome. And this was just me watching. I just watched like the version I watched was just like the hard cam footage. So like I didn't get to see like all the close ups and shit. They're throwing chairs at each other, slamming each other on the apron. Just lots of normal Mad Dog Connolly shenanigans. But yeah, both those matches are awesome and worth checking out when they go up on YouTube. I'm gonna watch Wrestler's Show, but that Mad Dog Connolly Amira match is one of the best matches I watched this year, I think. And it's just like I said, like just I don't know, that part of the show like it's awesome, but then I'm like I said, Evan Rivers, I don't know how he breaks out. Mad Dog Connolly is amazing, and that was one of his 2 matches or 3 matches. They have 2 or 3 matches on the WrestleMania weekend. And I don't know that people in the crowd. I mean, Parm talked about it, so I don't feel like I'm doing breaking any news. There was hardly anybody there. It's like you could have paid $10 to see these matches, and they're just walking around eating. I guess I don't know.
How many times did you privately annoy Parm to?
I never want. I
footage?
only publicly shamed him.
Wow. Okay, got it.
Did not privately ask for it at all.
So
I did.
Oh, let's-
I did say though that if he didn't get it out in time, I wasn't going to give him the plug. So he must have, he must know the power of the VPR. And he's like, I got to get this guy the footage.
the hundreds of listeners.
and we
giving it
love
to
you
real
all.
good.
I love each and every one of
So
you.
you're excited for Mad Dog versus Matt Tremont.
Yes.
How excited would you be if they did Amira versus Matt Tremont? That's kind of the measure of who did better. Is which of them would you be more excited to see in a match with Matt Tremont?
I would be excited to see who would book that match like that. Where does that take place at?
That's exclusively the kind of match that's like, if I ever somehow had the resources and ability to run a wrestling company, it would be all stupid shit like that.
I feel like the person most likely to book that match is, in fact, Matt Tremont.
Yeah, there you go. That's the answer. No, but yeah, I'm more excited to see Mad Dog versus Matt Tremont. Let's not get too crazy. But that is all the wrestling I watched, and the site this week. We're gonna get into it in the big top, but we finished up the VP 100 2024s. Q&T came out with a new podcast. I announced the main event of Dean 3. I mean, everyone read the whole article and understood what I was going for. So, and then I think we have coming out soon a recommended matches roundup. Sound right?
Absolutely. This Friday.
All right.
Which should have been last Friday, but I fucked it, Dan. I just fucked it.
It happens. I had been thinking about writing about like what's a wrestling shibboleth, like what clarifies for that or like what qualifies for that, and instead I just used it in an article that no one read and just got mad about the headline. So I'm real happy with that.
To be fair, the headline did not leave a lot of room for.
There wasn't a lot of ambiguity in the headlines. What you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All
It's
right.
not like you said, well, if you read the article, well, you have about a full page worth of fucking with it before you actually say, just kidding.
I do think maybe I should have waited a little bit until we got a response from AEW or press at AEW.com about our credentials before I did this. I might have muddied the waters a little.
I'm paying my hard-earned money for a Dean 3 ticket.
See, I want to be in the press box. I'm hoping there'll be catering.
Yeah, I want to chill with Bix.
Yeah.
Well, Bix is the man of the people. He's obviously going to stay with us.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, no, he's
Yep.
he's gonna be on the crowd.
He's got to be down at the bottom so we can count exactly how many people are in attendance.
Me and Bix passing the vape around.
Shit in your pants. I love it.
Shit in our pants.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly shitting your pants, guys. Allegedly shitting your pants. Oh
Talking
my
about
god.
talking about Talking Heads reissues.
How expensive are these front row tickets going to be, guys? Feels like not good. Feels not good.
I'm
Probably
racking up the overtime hours so I can afford them.
probably like those WWE SummerSlam tickets. They're like
Where you pay
$20,000?
$1,000 so I can get an autograph with everyone?
But you also get like the chair with like Rhea Ripley's face on it. And,
All
like,
right, I'm in.
Aggro Crag or whatever.
But it is specifically Rhea Ripley on this chair for Dean.
I like that.
I hope it
Perfect.
would be awesome if they advertised Dean 3 with just a picture of Rhea Ripley.
What a funny lawsuit.
We didn't get sued. I kept looking at our inbox, be like, is someone going to email us on this? Is this going to be a problem with somebody?
I felt bad about including the actual AEW like email address, so I threw my own in there as well, just to kind of like even it out.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm on top
yeah,
of it.
tagging everyone.
Hey, they didn't block me either. I was ready for that. No blocks.
Did the website get blocked?
I don't think so. I don't know though.
Did you know? Did you check?
I wonder what percentage of the website follows are when I accidentally log into the website and I go, I don't follow this person? That's crazy.
Well, if it's more than like 10, then everything above 10, essentially.
I think it follows way more than 10 because
Oh,
my
it's
phone's
33?
always-
God damn it, Dan.
because my phone's always giving me notifications. I thought I turned them off. It'll give me notifications and I'll click on it and then I'll see someone and be like, I don't follow them. Nuts.
Cool. I'm unfollowing a bunch of people right now.
That's so fucking rude to whoever
Yeah.
they are.
Fuck you, Porrick.
Is Pork
can't
or anything
imagine
for the site?
I can't.
Pork or anything for the site?
He's been a host of this podcast.
I don't care about the podcast.
Like
podcast.
50
Anyone can be on the
blurbs?
fucking podcast.
Porrick
Let me
wrote
tell you,
like
Dan.
50
For the record,
blurbs.
anyone can't be on the podcast. You have to
All right.
want to be.
So
It's real fucking. Why is Andrew Oh, okay. I actually get why that one. Okay. Sorry. Never mind. I know why
Who'd you
that's
just-
being followed, Dan.
Who'd you just call out?
Andrew Chizar.
Oh shit.
I was
you
like,
gotta-
why are they
we gotta
followed?
we gotta stay following that guy.
I-
We gotta keep tabs on it.
That is the most Dan realizing he did not follow this person. I gotta follow them that I've ever seen. That rocks.
I've done it, and I want you to know I've done it probably double that amount and caught it and unfollowed them. So I bet there's so many people that are like, oh, violent people follow me. No, they don't.
No.
Sorry,
You gotta
guys.
start following like the Twitter accounts of like people who like role play as wrestlers.
What
Where they
do
just,
you
like-
even do on the account, Dan?
I don't do anything. I'm just logged into it on my phone. I mean, occasionally when it wouldn't post stuff, I'd post stuff.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
And
So,
like I'm
speaking
not
of
usually at my computer. I have it
ECW
on my phone. Oh yeah, ECW.
Speaking of the ECW arena, I'm looking up the next show for Battleground Championship Wrestling. In addition to the all-time Surefire Classic that is Drake Younger versus Colby Carino for the Street Fight Championship, they're doing Masada versus Jinder Mahal, and I had seen this and then forgotten about it, and just saw it again and was just like, there is a god. Like this is, we were talking about like who would book Amira versus Matt Tremont. I'm like, same person who fucking booked Masada versus Jinder.
Yeah, that's big brain.
And we've got Crowbar versus Tremont, and Phil Insane versus Nick Gage. Schlack versus Shane Mercer. This is like the main event is B-Boy versus Ruckus. This is an all-time brain damage show, and I am excited to watch it. And it's going to be live on Triller, so Triller lost Black Label and gained Battleground Championship Wrestling.
Wasn't that originally on something different? But didn't you pay to watch their shows?
It was on a Patreon. It was on. You had to watch it. You had to subscribe to their Patreon.
No, I think there was the wrestling streaming service or something like that. It had the worst SEO name you could possibly imagine, or the best. I don't know. Where it was one of like 2 promotions on it.
Like, so was it that soul streaming one or whatever it was?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, because what I remember with the Battleground thing was I subscribed to the Patreon, so they just on their Patreon they just posted a link that was totally unsecured.
Yeah, you may or may not have shared that.
Yeah, I just went to you guys like, anyone want to see this, like, you know, Nick Gage and Drake Younger going to a worked time limit?
Was the video file like 6 hours long too, or something?
Yeah, because it was just totally unedited.
Okay, because I remember being terrified. I remember you sending that link, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love Pat, but this
And
is
I
a
mean,
piece of
like,
art."
it started with like an hour and a half of like, promo screen.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, I think all this brings us to our big top.
Sorry, I just
Oh.
may have gotten things conflated, but the answer to what I was thinking was Premier Streaming Network. Do the info what you will.
Okay, what do they stream there?
Premieres.
It's a defunct website at this point. Does not work.
It's a network.
But there you go. Hog.
Oh.
Hog.
They were co-owned by Freddie Prinze Jr.
This is so true. You heard it here first.
Speaking
Well,
of,
maybe last.
Best.
media networks, earlier Sam and I had a brief exchange on the Discord about what Vinegar Syndrome is releasing on Blu-ray this month. And you said that Jade, the sleuths online had figured out that Jade, the Joe Esterhazy movie, was going to be one of them. And I'm looking at the movie poster for that and realizing that this was on a billboard in the town square in the neighborhood where I grew up.
Hell yeah.
Because I recognize this picture of like Linda Fiorentino up against the wall. I'm like, that was above the bakery.
It was truly insane how they figured it out too. It's like Vinegar Syndrome put like a corner of the hood of a car in it, and then someone just like overlaid that with the still image from the movie and be like, there it is. That's the movie, guys. Sorry, I figured it out. Fits perfectly.
Like a fandom even more insane than wrestling fandom.
You gonna get Dirty Work?
I'm subscribed. I'm getting it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Love that.
But yeah, I'm absolutely like Dirty Work. Even if I wasn't subscribed, I would be buying like the full. I'm disappointed in the slipcover for it.
It's a little much. It's a little much.
It's a little much. Also, it's not like a central gap. Like I remember that it took me a minute to be like, did they do a prank involving body hair? But it was like, no, it was just that scene where the guy like took off his shirt. I mean, if Vinegar Syndrome wanted to be big brain about it, it would have been a bitten off piece of nose on the floor of some whorehouse in Saigon. But they don't have me working for them to point this stuff out.
All right.
Anyway, Dirty Work, great movie.
Great movie. Love that movie.
That is my recommendation for the week, is that everyone should watch Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang, and other people.
I recommend watching A Light Sleeper, which I watched for the first time. Great.
Also a great movie.
Great movie.
Who's in that? I don't know that.
Willem Dafoe and Susan Sarandon.
No, that's a Paul Schrader joint. It's really good.
I've seen incredibly few Paul Schrader movies, but now I have a stack of Blu-rays of his stuff. Maybe not the best timing, but what are you gonna do?
Ever seen Blue Collar? Blue Collar is awesome.
Nope, I got that in the stack though. And Hardcore.
How about Mishima?
Nope.
Oh, Mishima is his best.
That's a good one.
All right. I was gonna say something. Oh, also play the video game Blueprints video game Blueprints. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. That's what I got. Dan, seen any good movies lately?
I have not. I want to see Sinners, but I just haven't had time.
You and me
That's
both.
That's the thing I'm going to see next. The thing
The-
I've seen
the-
last.
The closest good movie theater, a movie tavern, a Marcus Theater joint, is like 23 minutes away. And that's just like far enough where I don't want to do it most nights. But I gotta get out there. Gotta get out there.
I've watched. This feels like an AEW movie. I watched The Accountant recently. Got to gear up to watch the second one.
There you go, Dan.
Yeah,
There you go.
you'd be totally lost if you.
I
just
know where to be able to
dropped it.
follow it.
There would be no way to sum up the central conceit of the movie in the most like glib and offensive way you possibly could.
Well, having said that, my niece is watching every single all the Final Destination movies. I haven't been watching it, but I've been in
Hell
the room.
yeah.
I've been in the room like while they're on, so I'll stop because she's excited about watching the new one. And that
Honestly, that's the best
I'll
way
probably see
to watch 'em.
Sinners and then that. So those are the next two
Yes.
movies up on my agenda.
Best way to take in Final Destination movies is just pop your head in every once in a while and be like, oh, hey, shit, what are they doing there?
That is the thing where I love it because I'm watching it in 7-minute increments and not all the movies, like 7 minutes here, 5 minutes here. This movie's great.
Final
Every time
Destination truly built for TikTok, but TikTok's too afraid. Dan, you moving the show along or what?
No, I think we're just gonna keep talking about this. No, I tried already. We're talking about VP 100. It finished up.
Congratulations, Chris.
We're all pretty
Thank
proud
you.
of him. I did ask if it was possible to get a list of the top 100 wrestlers. He informed me, no, it is not.
Yeah, absolutely impossible.
There's just
Can't
no
do
way
it.
he could do it.
There's no way to know
Respect.
who was in the top 100.
Well, there's no quick way to know. what
The
I'm saying.
information is just lost. Lost media.
I think we had
You had to be
Oh.
there.
all except the top 20 revealed as of last week. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I feel like Chris, this is your baby. I guess I don't know if this is too broad a question, but are you happy with it? Are you happy with how the 100 turned out?
No, I hate it.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, I'm never doing it again.
What do you hate most about it?
That Maquaro didn't make the top 100.
Yeah, ever since that happened, were just. I'm surprised you're even still on the show. That really hurt you.
That was devastating.
Would you have been better if he would have been 148?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think it was so close that it hurts. I get that.
he made huge strides literally the last day. I was like, all right, Maquaro is not making the list. And then it was the last day and I would just see the number go up. I'd be like, all right, he's at 120 now. All right, now he's at 110, 107, 105. And then it just ended. It just stopped short.
I want to give a shout out to JRZ53 on the Discord, by the way, because he will regularly post hey guys, new Maquaro match dropped, and link it to wherever it's up. And I find that incredibly useful because I want to watch that shit.
Is there anything you could have done to your ballot to save him?
Me?
Yeah. Could you have put your finger on the scale?
I absolutely could have.
So I think that is a real sign of integrity that you didn't.
Yeah, I could have. Honestly, the thought crossed my mind.
So if that doesn't tell
But-
you, God, you're getting the real deal with these results.
I watched 0 McQuarrie matches last year. Sorry.
Well, it would have been.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Part of the problem.
The I mean, he did a lot of crazy shit, but the one that sticks with me is it was for Mas Lucha subscriber only show. I think the main event was Arrow Boy versus Ciclope or something like that. And he was in the opening tag match. And he held one of the heels so that a child with some sort of disability, I'm not sure what it like, if he had cerebral palsy or something, he was in a wheelchair and did not seem to have full control of his limbs, but he took the time to single out that child and made the heel, like held the heel for him so that the child could chop the heel with with the help of his dad, and the heel sold for it. I'm just like, well, all right, Macuaro is this is what the man of the people should be doing in like grimy lucha brawling,
Yeah, he is absolutely the man of the people. The
as
people
opposed to
love
like
that
a
man.
famous lucha brawl where all the children nearby are in immediate danger of like glass hitting them.
That was your biggest
Yeah,
disappointment.
Macuaro.
What was your biggest what was the thing you're most happy about?
Probably Fishman in the top 40.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Number 40 on the dot.
That's yes, that's your number one, Chris.
Yeah, my number one.
Hell yeah. I am very happy. Like I said, I am for a top 10 that I think I said there was like 6 people that aren't in my top 10. I was incredibly happy with the top 10, honestly. I thought it was pretty well deserved and pretty representative of the community. And there's no one on it that like really made me roll my eyes.
It wasn't just AEW wrestlers, which was very welcomed.
I mean,
I
the
guess
top
last
20
year-
is AEW heavy, but like it's just gonna be that way.
It's just gonna be
Yeah.
that way.
I
Like
do
last
think,
year,
guys,
it wasn't.
No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say last year it was not all AEW wrestlers, but it was like the astronauts plus Okada, and then AEW all the fucking way down.
Yeah.
Winning Bryan Danielson, congrats to him last year.
Yeah, and the Discord conversation after the top 10 went up, it brought up an interesting point, which is that Danielson is out this year until Dean 3. Darby Allin is out for the foreseeable future because he's climbing Mount Everest or getting his ribs removed to suck his own dick, whatever he does with his time. No Sting. There hasn't been so far this year. There hasn't been that kind of match like Darby and Sting versus the Young Bucks that just completely seizes the voting block's imagination. It makes me wonder if there's going to be like a surefire lock for like top 3 placement the way that Danielson and Darby Allin were, or if in the absence of those kind of surefire figures, are we going to see results that are like with Takeshita, where Takeshita was like very few people's like top guy, but he placed well enough on enough ballots that it kind of defaulted him into being at the top end of the list, even if he got a lot of 25th place votes, he got a lot of 25th place votes. So I wonder how that sort of math is going to shape next year's list, if we think there are anyone who's going to kind of fill the power vacuum left by no Danielson, no Darby Allin, no whoever, no Jack Perry.
Fuck.
That's the biggest one.
The big 3, as I call them.
The pillars.
The 3 pillars of AEW.
I could see like why, Chris, this is a hard work for you. So like I could see why you probably not excited for next year, but like when someone proposed that question, I was like, oh shit, I actually have no idea who number 1 would be. Like if you stopped the year right now, I really don't know who would finish number 1. Where most years I think I have a pretty good idea. I mean, I think Mark Briscoe.
I think
floated around a lot. I think that's probably the answer, but
if you stop the year right now, I think Meiko Satomura would probably just get emotionally pushed to the top.
you got to figure in that me and like 15 other people are not going to vote for women. You got to calculate that in.
Yeah, but then she's going to get like all number 1 votes from people who are like, this is my last chance to vote for her.
I just really don't see it because like Suri had a really, really good year last year. and 20 people said, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, but
And,
like
and you're
the
listening
only
to a
person that
podcast with 1/5 of that 20.
the only person that really dominated was Brian Danielson. Like, she was behind folks like Darby, but for by and large, she was on more ballots than most people. So, like, I think without a Danielson, someone that will be on every single ballot, pretty much, not as much to worry about there.
Where did Sting finish? And the
Don't have a list.
20
Can't help you
something.
there.
I mean, I don't 20 something. All right,
27th. 27th.
I mean, I don't. I hear the people talking about Miko's retirement match. Doesn't really feel like the way people were talking about Sting's retirement match. Now I know she's had more matches than Sting, but he was 27th. A lot of these people are nerds too, who are going to be like, not enough data, not enough math, not enough matches. I just really don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong.
At this point, if you told me it was Kyle Fletcher that won, I would not be shocked. That's just the kind of year we're having, folks. That's just the kind of year we're having.
I think Ricochet is going to do a lot better in next year's list than he did in this one's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I think people have turned back around on Ricochet and they like him again.
I think Hechisero's having not that he's regressed or anything, but I don't think his year is as exciting as last year's was. And he's a guy I think could maybe finish number one because people are kind of like catching up. Like maybe you're one of the few people who are behind on Hechisero.
Does anyone this year, like, at the top end, have a more exciting 2025 as 2024?
I guess that's true. No, who's more exciting this year than were last year? There's really not anybody. 'Cause even
Matt
Mark
Tremont.
Briscoe's case is like
Jay
fun
Uso,
TV.
Logan Paul.
Shut the fuck up. Yeet.
Yeet.
Again, no list, but who is the highest ranked WWE wrestler?
Gunther in the top 20.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was going to say it's definitely either Gunther or Sami Zayn, and I was leaning towards Gunther.
Gunther is not in the top 20.
Oh, top 25.
No, yeah, he's top 20. He's
23.
number 23.
But that's all. That is wild. The number 23 is where WWE tops out at. Times have changed.
I'm hoping for next year's list we can double the number of Jade Cargill votes.
2? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, if we can make it to 2, we'll be sitting pretty.
Going through back-to-back years of being the top rated WWE wrestler. He was number 16 last year. No one above him. What a hoot.
Do you know who the third ranked WWE wrestler is?
I'm not doing that, Dan. Do you know?
I do know. I wouldn't have got it because I'm a hater, but it was Sheamus at 50. If my quick.
Hell yeah, Dan. Hell yeah.
No, I just think that's crazy. I mean, so 3 in the top 50 for the biggest company in the world. That's,
Do you know what I'm proud of? People for not doing is I'm proud of people for not memeing the fucking Costco guy into the VP 100.
Have that big AJ didn't make the list?
Yeah, what? I mean, he didn't make the top 100.
he could make next year's. Maybe you're.
You would have been happy if Jade Cargill made it, but Big AJ
I would have
was
been
too far.
Well,
Because that's not me.
I mean,
That's legit. She's a superstar. Big AJ.
The problem is every time I look at that dude, I think of the fucking ghost guy from Beetleborgs.
So you gotta be a little turned down by your meme wrestlers. That's the bit.
I got
I got a horn dog in there.
Beetleborg. I gotta not think of Beetleborgs. That's the one requirement.
I need to look up Beetleborg.
Also, fuck you.
I see it.
Jade Cargill's a meme wrestler.
Yeah, I thought you were taking it way too easily. I was like, man, he's just letting Sam say it over and over again.
Oh, this is a great look. Now that you've said it,
She's a a bad wrestler, and she sucks at wrestling, but
That
in a way that I
wrestler.
find very entertaining to watch. So that's why she's one of the 100 best wrestlers.
I would say that she's like the Shadow Borg of wrestling.
I don't know what
I
that
would
means.
say
I don't know
I
what it
would
means
say
either. I'm on
she's-
Google looking at Beetleborgs.
All right, can I get Beetleborgs on Blu-ray?
I'm gonna
What are we
guess
looking at here?
no.
Do they have Beetleborgs on that guy's Patreon? Can you like request? Like I want to see like 1997 Fox Kids shit.
Archive.org seems to have the entire first season as one video file, which is crazy.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a way to do it.
Like you just fucking start watching it and you're locked in. Holy shit. It's
They're selling
53,
these
it's
things.
53 episodes. Just back to back to back to back to back.
I think you can't even buy these things on DVD anymore. What is this? This shit sucks. They ruined everything.
Who is they in this case?
America.
Well, someone added to the end of their Wikipedia page, the series was added to Plex in 2025. No details, no citation, not even a period at the end of the sentence. So,
You
I didn't
can't
realize-
find the first season. This person's on a very illegal version of this, a bootlegged season 2.
Well, you're not going to understand what's going on.
Exactly. Why would you want that? Where's
Oh,
season 1, folks?
It is on Plex, though, by the way. There's 88 episodes of this shit.
For free.
Season
Oh, well,
on
this might be
Plex?
it then.
I just assumed someone had access to someone else's Plex server and just decided to update Wikipedia.
Like Dave Meltzer with the All Japan Drive.
Yep.
I didn't realize till right now that Plex, like my buddy uses Plex and lets me watch shit. I didn't realize that it was like a streaming service too on top of that. Finding
Yeah.
shit out left and right.
Man, this is so funny. Where you guys can do anything these days. If I send Monsterland Media my money, do you think I get anything from that?
Well, you have
might get,
extra
like a thank you email.
you have extra
Got it.
CMLL magic or money sitting
Yeah.
around.
Saving on that CNL cash. All right. Got me there, Dan. I'm in. I'm sold.
It's like, honey, I got an extra $35 a month. Don't worry.
She doesn't even know that I spent $35 in the first place.
Oh,
Got Kubiks. I don't know why it keeps calling him Series 2. So confusing. Anyway.
Give us the Beetleborgs.
we all want it.
No, Beetleborg sucked. What they gotta bring back, what they gotta make available to the people is Superhuman Samurai Cyber School, which
It feels like-
was it was the same kind of thing as Power Rangers, where they took like all the action footage from a Japanese show and just filmed new, like out of costume scenes with American actors. And one of the Cyber Squad was one of the Lawrence brothers, I think Matthew. And the villain was Tim Curry dubbing over like the Japanese monster. And Tim Curry's ally was like this hacker goth kid who was he was like every kind of movie villain where he was like a rich kid and he was like a goth and he was like a nerd and he looked like a lunch lady and just an amazing show in terms of things I sort of remember from when I was 8. Actually, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is probably famous for anime fans nowadays because it was made from a Japanese show called Gridman, and I think Gridman just had a big revival as a cartoon a few years ago. So, yeah, they should bring back the campy, stupid, brain-dead American version of Gridman.
It spells
I
cyber
agree.
with an S.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
That means it's
Archi-
cool.
Archive.org has all that too, man. That's probably the best place to watch this shit.
Can you watch it all as one file, or do you?
It does have it all linked together. Again, 53 episodes.
Okay, yeah, because I'm saying like you don't want to have to like switch video files like a fucking homeless person.
And archive.org is not like Netflix. I don't think it asks like, "Are you still watching?" It just says, "I'm sure you are."
Yeah.
It feels like we really covered all our thoughts on VP 100, unless you guys have something. I think we really got into the nitty-gritty.
What do you fucking mean, Dan? What do you
Congratulations,
mean?
Brian Danielson. Finally getting his flowers.
No one deserved it more. It was
So
our last
I
time to
have a-
congratulate him.
I do kind of wonder who might it feels dismissive to call it like a flavor of the month thing, like a flavor of the year. But I do wonder who will benefit from like a sudden groundswell of support and who will be harmed by that support moving elsewhere. Like, I do kind of wonder. Hechicero hasn't been having like huge showcase matches this year like he was last year. He's been consistent and reliable, but it's not like they're putting out, huge like Hechicero versus Zack Sabre Jr. Matches 3 times this year or whatever else. And I kind of wonder if he's going to like slip down a bit in favor of like, current darlings. Like say Kyle Fletcher will probably do a lot better this year. And this is a chance for all of us to just tell the fans who they should be getting behind and who they should stop gassing up. Like, do we think Damus is gonna do as well this year as he did last year? Or do we think Damus's moment has kind of faded a bit?
You gotta wait till Dean 3.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think we already kind of talked about it a little bit. Like
Dean 3, where
Barely-
Damus attacks Daniel Makabe during his entrance, takes him out, and wrestles Bryan Danielson.
Holy shit, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I know, right?
They already talked about what, Sam?
barely anyone feels like they've improved year over
Yeah.
year. So it's like, if everyone's losing ground, does anyone lose ground?
Fair.
I will say, like,
I think so.
there's a lot more
I think
Japanese
it's
wrestlers in
more about-
2023. Are we gonna get those back?
More about like if everyone's losing ground, some people will lose ground much faster than
Yeah.
others. Where like Gunther is always going to be like a number 23 on the list kind of guy.
Yeah. But like Kevin Koo ain't coming in at 35 again. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. I don't think Fishman is going to finish nearly as high as he did this year. Doesn't seem in the cards.
Like
He
Sting and Danielson are gone. They're not going to be there.
well
Well,
for
okay.
now.
Yeah.
For now.
What is the highest? I mean, because I guess Mad Dog was 10, right? What's the highest an American indie guy can get? Like, how could Mad Dog or Priest? Could they take the top spot if they have a great indie year?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't think so either, but I just wanted to say
I
it.
don't think anyone can really overcome the AEW factor in reaching like the tippy top level just for the sheer number of ballots.
Like Mad Dog finished behind ballots of Roger Strong, but also finished below an average ranking. So it's like only so much you can do. Only so much you can do. It's a little skewed because AEW wrestlers are more likely to show up on a 50-person ballot because they've seen less. So they're obviously going to see the AEW wrestlers versus Mad Dog Conley, but whatever. But 10 feels like the absolute height of what you can fucking do on this list as an American indie wrestler. And you need a match of the decade contender to get there.
Do we think Mickey Knuckles has a shot at the top
Yep.
100?
Hey, Mickey
Good
versus
shot,
Necro is
anyone.
gonna
Oh.
fucking rule.
When's that put for?
I think June.
June. XP. Where?
Can we get press credentials for that one?
Deep South, I think.
Oh,
No.
that's I'm gonna pass.
No
on that one.
credentials needed. You just got to figure out what fucking field somewhere it's in.
Yeah, you just gotta wander up.
You gotta
You
fucking.
just had to show your membership card to that one.
It's appropriate that they do their venues in like random outdoor spaces. You probably have to email the promoter to like find out where it is. It's just like some sort of white power run.
You feel like you're gonna be crazy. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's already booked at the J. Craig Smith Community Center in
Oh, are they doing it
Sylacauga, Alabama.
indoors?
They're doing it indoors. You're gonna have Buff Bagwell. You're gonna have Tommy Dreamer, Mike Jackson, Ricky Morton, Chick Donovan, who wrestles a lot around me, and then Necro, Mickey, Little Sicko, Bryant Woods.
This show
They're gonna lose that whatever deposit they like paid for like not destroying that building. They are losing it.
This is really unfair. There's a tag match that's Jay Impact and Chick Donovan versus Ricky Morton and Wildcat Wendell Cooley. And for Wendell and Chick, they're using, 30, 40, 50-year-old promo pics, and they got modern day Ricky Morton there. Seems rude to me.
See, I saw another poster recently that had like a whole bunch of things, and it was clearly like these are just what we found online. So it's like the Rock and Roll Express will be there, and it's like pictures of them from like 1991.
Now, if we're all getting ready for our Deep South trips, October, Carnage Cup, they've already got Little Sicko and Nick Gage announced. First two entrants.
Right.
Hey, better first two entrants than SCI.
Yeah, the SCI field is a crime. I do think they need to retire it after this year. I think we're done. Dan's gone. Who are you doing this for?
No, Dan's here. He's recording with us.
Dan shouldn't be here. He's gone.
If we start talking about SCI, I might lose. I might log off.
Wait, why don't you want to talk about SCI?
That's a show.
Baby.
He doesn't want to talk about it because he's saving it for Talking Tourneys.
That's a show I fell asleep in. That wasn't late at night.
Talking Tourneys?
Yeah, Talking Tourneys.
I have it all the time. Every fucking episode. I could tell.
You kill. Fuck you. Best episode I've ever did was the last one. It was just me and Tim. No fucking Sam.
What was that? 6 months ago?
Oh, yeah, wait, no, like 12.
Yeah, that's called a year, Dan. That's just called a year.
No. The first 2 years are like when you're a toddler. It's just months out. Talking Tourney's my baby. It's just 12 months since the last one.
Oh man,
someone
terrible SEO on that.
I'm Talking Tourneys.
Yeah, just try like 6 different ways to spell that, and I'm like, why can I not find this fucking podcast?
You were involved in the naming of it.
Yeah, who fucking did that? Anyway,
deeply involved.
August of 2024. Congratulations.
Okay, all right. So I got 3 months to get the next one ready.
You got this.
Once a year is kind of a funny gimmick if I keep going for a really long time. It's like 2038. I'm like, welcome to episode 34. God, I had what happened is I had Sam cover an AIW show and then he quit the podcast. Like going through the results or the names of the episodes.
That's the only sane response. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't be too mad. But speaking of SCI, it's not a question we have. People on Discord talking about the best, like, I guess annual tournament, not that currently going, but that ran for so long. And someone suggested SCI, and it's like you got to ignore a lot of shit to call SCI the best one. Just looking at
they had a heck of a run. They had a heck of a run.
It's now King of the Death matches.
What deathmatch one?
King of the Death matches.
Never heard of it.
All right.
You gotta respect Ian here.
You do have to respect Ian.
I'm always respecting Ian here.
Where did Ian fall on the VP 100?
He has been retired for a few years.
You're gonna let that slow him down?
And yet somehow not in the VP Hall of Fame.
What Chris means is he's retired from the VP 100. It wasn't fair to anyone else. We just had to remove.
In about 1 month, we've got one more round of the Violent People Hall of Fame.
I had to do the DJ Khaled call to the CEO of WordPress because we were getting so much Ian Rotten attention. Like we had to call for bigger, more powerful servers. The people love Ian. That's why there isn't that's why Dan hasn't posted any Rotten Rewatches lately.
It was that. It was that and Hockenschmidt. The site couldn't handle those two things. So I was like, enough's enough.
Oh man, why
I
do
have
we
to
have so
lie
many?
to people now.
We have so many views on our homepage. It is wild over the past month. I just looked. We have 1,700 people that have gone to the homepage. I don't know why they did that. They shouldn't have.
1,700. That's crazy. I'm
It's
looking at it, and you're not lying. I
not
wanted
lying.
to call you a liar. And, like, that's crazy too, because most of our traffic usually comes from Twitter links.
Yeah.
So it's like people are clicking the Twitter link, reading the article, clicking the homepage, and going, "None of this other stuff looks good to me." I got what I came for.
Got what I came for.
Why is this post from a year and a half ago still on the front page? That's what they're saying.
It's a great question. That's a great question.
So fucking funny.
Should we just like redo the whole site?
Like right now, live on air.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
If we can make it look like a Angel Fire site from like 2000, when people would make their own this is like Rob Scoop's website, like that would be the ideal, I think.
What is the MP3 that we are having autoplay when you go to violentpeople.co?
Regulate by Warren G.
Yep, that's fair. Stupid question of me.
I'm looking at everything. There's no good.
I'm sorry. I think Regulate might have been by Nate Dogg featuring Warren G, but it was some combination of the two of them.
No, Regulate is Warren G featuring Nate Dogg.
Okay, thank you. I had a moment of worrying that I had gotten it reversed.
No, that is on Warren G's album.
Yeah, Regulate, the G-Funk era.
Yep.
I don't know, folks.
I still think Matt Riddle using that remix of Regulate was such a sick entrance song.
It is a great entrance song.
what was the article? Like, what was the piece on the site that showed up in the top post until I was finally able to get rid of the top post section?
It was considering Mio Momino for the VP 2010s or whatever the fuck.
That was locked on there. That wasn't going anywhere.
Because you had set it to number of comments.
Well, that was like just the only way you were allowed to do it. Yeah, but we couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, and it was the only article that had a comment. So it was just top of the list for forever.
Lots of bullshit. Lots of bullshit.
And I've never thought about that. So you pointed out that we are clearly getting people to look at something and then give the site a chance, but we're not hooking them after that.
Well, who's to say that, Dan? Who's to say that?
Well, wouldn't more stuff have more? I guess not. Maybe not. I don't know.
We got a lot of more. I also think, just like thinking out loud here, it says homepage / archives. It might also be if they're looking at VP 100, clicking the VP 100 button to also see what's listed under VP 100, because that page is not listed / they don't show anything like that here. Anyway, people are every month clicking on RIP Ice Train.
Yeah, they know what's up.
Two people looked at that last month, Dan. Congratulations.
See, last 30 days.
It's just weird people look at this website. Every month, people are like, let me learn more about the Necro Butcher again.
People are always checking in on the Necro Butcher. I really captured something with SEO there. I don't know what I did.
It's one of our top 2 SEO.
It's
hosts.
because you brought in all the Necro fans and you brought in all of the Death of the Author literary theory fans.
No, that one didn't do as well.
Oh, okay. It was the other one.
It was the other one, yeah.
The other one that always does well is Ken Shamrock versus Don Fry from Pride.
And that makes sense.
We're like the front page for any time someone's looking for Ken Shamrock versus Don Fry, which is beautiful to me.
It's really great because it's we never ever did more.
We never did more.
It did so fairly well. We're like, fuck that.
I mean, that's the only one that did well. That's just like we should have just been reviewing MMA matches.
We should just be doing MMA. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I thought the other ones did well. I was wrong.
No, everything else sucks.
All right.
Sorry about it. Is it time for questions?
I think that probably covers the VP 100.
Obviously.
Did I buy a
Talked about it a
Soraya
lot.
shirt from AEW's eBay account?
What's that?
I'm on All Elite Wrestling's eBay account. They have 96%
That can't be real.
positive feedback. No, it's real. And I can't tell if it's just another extension of their like the pro wrestling tees business, because it seems to be all t-shirts, or if they're just like unloading merch that they had printed up for shows or something. But part of me is like, should I buy a Soraya shirt to wear to indie shows?
Absolutely.
Let me say something right now. I don't. These kind of fans don't listen to this show, but I think a true WWE fan would buy something from this eBay store and then give bad feedback. 97% positive. It tells me they don't know anything about a fucking brand war.
I mean, you can still, from the AEW eBay account, you can still get better than you, baby shirts. So that kind of tells me that, I think they printed these up for live events and they're just unloading the warehouse via eBay now. You can get the Christian Cage outwork everyone shirt.
TNA used to always be clearing out their warehouse, and they're like, "We'll throw in a free AJ Styles come T-shirt, please." We have so many.
We'll throw in the fucking RDV shirt. I remember years ago, someone tried to order as many as they could to try and figure out the upper limit of how many Jeff Jarrett guitars they had sitting around, and it was 1,000.
I hope they all found good homes.
I mean, towards the end of TNA having that warehouse space, they were selling those guitars for $10 or something.
Yeah, it was dirt cheap. I thought about getting one.
You could buy the plastic Eric Young beards.
I got a couple of those brown bag specials.
You can get the
still
Britt
has
Baker shirt.
Britt Baker shirt.
The Britt Baker shirt where she's got the black eye. They got that in the eBay store.
You guys want to do a little Q&A?
I would love to.
Okay. This is kind of on topic. Eamon says, not to talk tourneys too much, but for VPR, what's your favorite King of Trios team? And what's your favorite King of Trios tournament? Sam, I know you have an answer for both of those, so go ahead.
Favorite King of Trios tournament? 2011, because I was there. Favorite team? 2012 Team ROH, because I was there.
Team ROH, is that Mike Bennett and the Young Bucks, or what is that?
Yep.
That's awful.
That's
it,
awesome,
baby.
actually.
That's an awful choice. That actually upsets me.
Come on. Live in the building, and that was nuclear, baby. That was good stuff.
Didn't you have Lynn and Dreamer and Scorpio too?
No, I think it was Lynn, Dreamer, and never mind. It might have been Scorpio. I was thinking about there was a team with Just Incredible wrestling as.
He was as Aldo Montoya.
Yes. Yep.
It was 1, 2, 3 Kid, Aldo Montoya, and Tatanka.
There we go. What a
Fucking hell.
team!
We gotta uncancel Mike Quackenbush.
They-
Come
and
on,
they-
guys.
They were wrestling in the Chikara team, King of Trios tournament as Team WWF.
Yes. Yep. There is a lot going on there. It did have Team JWP with Command Bolshoi there. And we need to see that again, you know? Fucking Mike Quackenbush just doing himself a big favor, booking him with Toyota. Did Discord's favorite wrestlers, Team Osaka Pro. Dan, I'm really upset that you're fucking slacking on Team ROH here. You know what? 2012, fun weekend.
No, but here's my problem: is that 2011 is probably the right answer. Like that fucking ruled, and then like I feel like you undercut it by praising something so fucking stupid right after.
Oh my god! Did you watch King of Trios 2012, Dan? Do you remember it? Do you want to do a talking tourneys on it?
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it.
I got the
now.
DVDs. I'll get them out.
Oh my god! Let me look at these other teams on here before.
Sorry, when I
watch.
watch these shows, does it give money to Mike Quackenbush? Because I have to really be a moral compass here.
I mean, you already bought them, so I think you're all right.
No,
right.
every time you watch a DVD, it sends more money to them.
There you go. I told you.
I mean, oh, shit. Oh man, this show is yeah. This is probably
there's
fun.
a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on.
It's a mess of a situation.
We got Batiri, so every time you have the Batiri, you're good, and nothing's bad there. I really don't know what my answer is for best trio. It's tough.
You're gonna pick something fucking like Team Uppercut, like some jabroni Mark without a life.
No, I'm gonna fuck you. First off, I'm picking Devastation Corporation. You know what? I'm doing my heart. What about you, Chris? You got a favorite year or team?
Was there never a team there was a team AIW because of Jack of Trios.
Oh, the
I
winner
mean,
Jack Trios.
I have a soft spot for like any time they brought in like Sendai, like Team Sendai Girls or something, because that's one of my like first exposures to Joshi is like when they'd bring in Mako or Command Bolshoi or Dash Chisako or any various number of people for King of Trios. So it's probably just like a Sendai Girls trio or something.
So that is just 2012. This is just the 2012 King of Trios. Sendai Girls and
There was a Sendai
Team
Girls team in
JWP.
2016.
Are you telling me there was a King of Trios in 2016?
Yeah.
You telling me they kept doing these
The
things?
2016 King of Trios tournament took place September 2, 3, and 4 in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Oh my
Footnote
goodness.
29. Madison Eagles was originally announced as part of Team Shimmer, but had to drop out due to an injury. Her spot was taken by Solo Darling. The Big Deal was originally announced for the tournament as part of Team Big Deal alongside Rick Rowland and Sloan Caprice, but was also forced to pull out due to an injury. They were replaced by the Submission Squad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who won? Who won? I have to scroll down to see who won. Team Sendai Girls won that year.
You also had Bill Carr, Dick Justice, Officer Warren Barksdale.
Good
Trio.
stuff.
So you're looking good. Oh, and then Jazz, Mickey James, and Victoria. What a goof. You know what? Maybe keep him canceled.
I remember making a concerted actual decision to not attend the show. Now I'm thinking about it. It's mostly New Kara was some bullshit. That's just not good
So
stuff.
I can't remember having watched a full King of Trios tournament. I know, that tends to be a tournament where I like skip around and I'm like, oh, that matchup sounds fun. I'll watch that. But then I'm not going to watch like, Dasher Hatfield and two people versus.
Yeah, that's what you
whatever.
do with Chikara.
Yeah.
That's actually disrespectful to the Chikara booking. That it's very deep.
Well,
It's like
Chikara
comic
booking
books.
can suck my dick. So
And nuanced.
It's like comic books.
Yeah,
It's like comic books,
but
not just for kids.
my favorite team by default has to be the BWO, Big Stevie Cool, the Blue Guy, Hollywood Nova. And I remember when the results of that show came out, the 2015 tournament, looking at them and being disappointed that they did not do a BWO versus Bullet Club match. Because, you had Blue Meanie and the Young Bucks there and you didn't put them in the same ring. It felt like a waste.
So
still-
the AIW team was Aeroform and Johnny
Yeah,
Gargano.
Johnny Gargano,
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit in 2010
Team,
for sure.
Team Oreo, they were called.
That's
The
I won't say
AIW
that.
tournament. What?
What?
In the AIW tournament, that's what they're called.
That tournament was something. Okay, we have more
I got a
questions.
DVD, brother. Gotta get it out.
Every time you watch that, John Thorne gets money though.
Fuck. I hate
watch
that
out.
shit.
Watch
I
out,
can't-
man.
I'm gonna throw it out. I actually have
Uh,
a number of AAW DVDs that I should burn. at some point.
I recently sold a best of Johnny Gargano DVD for $14 US, plus he paid for shipping. And he was really like, I forgot to ship it. I forgot. And like, he was really nice on Facebook Messenger. And I was like, hey, do you like AIW? And he's like, oh yeah, I just got into it recently. I was like, I fucking got you. And I sent him like 7 AIW DVDs. Some of them autographed to Dan. I was like, are you cool with that? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I'm like,
why
they're sti-
why
they're
did
sitting
John
here.
Thorne autograph these DVDs to you?
No, it's like best of, so like best of Ethan Page, best of Heidi Lovelace, best of Johnny Gargano. That like I would
That's
buy
why
at
it's
the
so
merch
weird
table.
that John Thorne signed all of them.
Well, if you got to get them. And then the guy was just like, "That's so nice." I was like, "Yeah, they have been in a box that I've not opened in 3 moves." Nick Yeoman says, "What legal recourse is available to me if a popular wrestling website made it seem like a match that isn't happening has been announced?" Now, at first, I thought,
Nothing.
"Is this a subtweet?" But then I realized, 1, I don't know that we're a popular wrestling website.
Nope.
And 2, we've only talked about matches that are 100% happening, so I don't know what this is in reference to, but I would suggest talking to a lawyer. They also say, on that point, what are the best / funniest bait and switches in wrestling history? Anyone got a good answer for that one? Oh, I just thought of one because I didn't realize this question on the second part. Anytime Onita would come to America, I feel like
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
the
that's
king.
good shit.
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
The devoting
now a
an
tag.
entire episode of XPW TV to the showing the entire press conference, which took place in like the conference room of an airport Hilton, where Onita and Sabu get into a physical altercation in front of like 4 pretend journalists, and then the match not happening. Just absolutely godlike Onita stuff.
But then, like, what, 20 years later, Matt Tremont thinking he's getting the singles match?
Oh yeah, and then it turned into the 6-man tag or whatever.
That was just, like, fucking chaotic and didn't make any sense. I don't know.
Also, Onita retiring and then just
Ye-
continuing to fucking, do like Onita's entire career is just insane bait and switch, and we love him for it.
I don't know if it's a bait switch, but it's recent. I've been really happy that Teton's in the best of the Super Juniors. It's really tickled me. It's really brought me a lot of joy.
Big surprise.
Mysteries revealed. Eamon says, is there a particular topic or period of wrestling you'd like to read a book about, but haven't? For instance, I'd be very interested in the book about Japanese dojo culture, how it varies between companies, and how it's changed in the last 30 to 40 years.
I can't think of a book I'd be less interested in, Dan.
Well, that's his answer. You have to give your answer,
Yeah,
Sam.
come up with your own.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't want to read that book. Get that
I'm not.
shit
I'm
outta
not.
here.
I'm not writing that book, so you're not hurting my feelings.
Honestly, the book that I would most love and would tear through in like an afternoon is someone could make this book just by transcribing shoot interview passages and arranging them, but just the history of like the ECW locker room.
Oh my
Like
god,
how
no.
how it's
Boo.
the descent into madness and like injecting new bane.
Wait, did you say you want to hear about the rising and the falling of ECW locker room? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
you're
No,
like,
I
I'm
want to
like,
hear, I want to
Yeah.
I want to
I
hear
want
about
the
the
rise and
fall.
fall of ECW,
I want the most heavily
I want,
documented period in wrestling to be documented.
written by
but
Brian
I
Alvarez.
like you have 50 million shoot interviews of like here's Tommy Dreamer's recollection of things. Here's Rhino's recollection of things. I want the one thing that combines it all and coheres it into a singular narrative reflecting, like the book Please Kill Me about the New York punk scene, like an oral history type thing that shows these 50 super documented viewpoints all arranged together so that you can get a complete picture of just how bad the degeneration of that fucked up locker room is.
I want something about any period of Lucha. I guess, like, you could do the creation
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
AAA, or
Failing that, the early AAA years,
yeah, that sounds like a good answer. Or even just like
and
a history of Lucha written in English would be cool.
bonus
I'd like
points if it's full of like old indie sleaze stuff
Chris, you
that
got
would
any answers to that one?
Negro Casas of being gay constantly.
Nope.
I was thinking like 98 to 2002 US indie wrestling. Something that kind of captures that transition.
98 to 2002. What? I missed that. I'm sorry.
US indie wrestling?
Oh, okay. All right.
He
I
wants a book about Rob Feinstein. Basically.
Pork wants to ask, are there any other matches for Dean we want to announce?
I
think
don't
I'm
believe
missing you
we've
guys
been
talking, I'm
contacted
sorry.
about them.
Uh,
We've only been contacted about
We're
the one
happy.
match that's
We're
happening.
happy to announce Cerebro Negro versus Queen Aminata. Yeah.
Dan, what the fuck was the question?
I have no idea. I didn't hear you guys talking, and then I did all at once. It was very confusing to me.
Well, to be fair, they were talking over each other, so that wasn't actually
No, but I didn't hear. I didn't hear like either of them talking for a while, and they both just popped in my
Mm.
head. So I think I was
Mhm.
missing some shit. Did we announce some more matches for Dean yet?
Nope.
That was the question.
Pat announced Queen Aminata versus Cerebro Negro.
Good shit. Confirmed. For real happening. I promise. Our next question is from Tim. Was Lanny Poffo the genius because he gave himself good brain?
Absolutely. That's
Asked
a
and
dumb
answered.
fucking like what else?
I'm going to combine these two questions from Andy and Jade because I hate them both. Draft the roster of people that you'd fight the gorilla with. Obviously, it doesn't have to be 99 individuals. You can say like the 89 Detroit Pistons or something. And then, Andy, how many gorillas do you think the full Violent People 100 could beat up? I'm going to pull Sam and say I abstain from both those questions.
Yeah, don't care.
Anyone have any gorilla thoughts?
How many gorillas could the entire Violent People 100 beat up?
100.
0, because wrestling is a work and gorillas fight for real.
Yeah, they're
Hell yeah.
they're shooters. They're real shooters.
Anyway, I would not pick the New York Knicks to fight a gorilla because they're Charmin soft out here. So there's that.
If I had to draft 99 people to fight a gorilla with me, it would be the first 99 people I meet who own guns.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Dan, what do we got next? Dan fucking quit. I'm excited
Dan.
for Dan exiting the call, potentially just breaking the recording.
Whoa. Hey, I can hear you guys now.
That's good.
So it's all worth it. Why would that break the recording?
We thought the gorilla question upset you so much. You just
I was
had
pretty
to
upset
leave.
about it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I could tell you guys were talking. Like, it lights up. Like, I see the square light up on the Discord, but I heard nothing.
Yeah,
But I
that
assume
happens
you guys
sometimes.
fucking killed it.
I've been having some weird stuff this call too, so I just, I think it's a Thursday thing.
Yeah, it's classic Thursday Discord.
Disgusting stuff. Dan, what's the next question?
Jade says, "How many violent people does it take to change a light bulb?" You can guess the answer. I will reveal the punchline next week.
How? What?
I like that she's setting up little challenges for us there.
I'm not taking the bait. I'm
You
baiting
got-
this.
Okay.
Do you guys know how to replace light bulbs?
No.
Well,
We could
link
take
you some
Sam's
YouTube
CMLL
videos.
money and like hire someone to replace the light bulbs.
I only
Oh,
have
I-
candles in my house.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's kind of sick. Watching IWRG by candlelight.
Yeah, it's I like to set the mood.
All right, keep it going.
Did we lose Dan again?
I'm now thinking it's my internet, so I might have to have someone
Oh.
else take over these questions.
Oh, I'm absolutely not following you. Fuck me. Scrolling. Anyone else want to know where we're at?
We're at a Henry question, if you guys can hear me.
All right, I can.
We
I
can hear you.
I absolutely think it's Dan's headphones, and he does not realize. Nope, that's not
Good
it.
audio.
If anyone figures it out where Dan left off, that'd be great. Found it. Henry, given the success of Jey Uso and the term eat, which non-modern term slang would you give a wrestler in hopes in getting them over your personal amusement? For example, Timothy Thatcher gained the catchphrase "Poggers." Poggers.
Yeah, but he's got to say it like Chuck E. Cheese in that one clip where he's playing Fall Guys. You seen that clip?
Nope, can't say I have.
It's a classic. There's a Chuck E. Cheese is playing Fall Guys, and he's going Poggers, and Timothy Thatcher has to deliver the line like that in front of hundreds of Evolve Wrestling fans.
Great. I'm glad Henry covered the bases here because I have no idea what are slang terms. What I have got nothing. I'm not
I'm
hip
old.
to the language.
I mean,
I'm just trying to go on. Sorry.
no, it's just I'm trying to think of like a really like completely played out one from like a decade ago or something.
Well, I'm trying to think of what tag team can we set up to inherit the Budweiser Waza.
All right.
Isn't there like a
Like, what if
Dudley Kids?
what if the op? Yeah, what if like the ops started doing the Waza thing before some like triple team moves?
Get like Action Andretti and
Or
Leo Rush to do
or
it?
what if the ops brought back Hootie Hoo?
What if
People who were alive in 1999 might remember Hootie Hoo?
what if Tomohiro Ishii started asking where's the beef?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm not sure that's not modern term or slang.
Oh,
You know what?
I thought it was dated.
I thought the question was not modern.
I guess I still would not consider where's the beef a term.
It's not a
Or-
slang term. I was just thinking catchphrases.
Just catchphrases. What catchphrases should they take over?
What wrestler should start saying "I caramba" in promos?
Or saying, did I do that?
Who's taking over Zoinks? Who can take the Zoinks? Well, I think we pretty much answered this question. Dan, got anything? Amazing. Moving on. Shrimp biscuit 420. Oh, I don't like this question. Who is most likely to be the Gooner? I think Trevor Lee could pull it off. To the Goon.
It's Gunther.
That's
Gunther
great
becomes
answer.
Gooner.
Whenever there's a question like this about like what wrestler is the most likely to be like a lonely masturbator who's most likely to get cucked, whatever, my answer is just going to be Joe Hendry.
Is there like, who is the Gooner? What is the Gooner? Should I understand what this question is asking me?
It's saying what wrestler should jack off
Be
a lot.
gooning?
Yeah, who's jacking his shit?
Jacking his shit.
Who is just pounding the fuck off, just ripping that
I think
thing
we
off
get
like fucking Castle Freak.
what a flick. What a movie. Give it up to MJF. I think he could goon.
MJF would be a phenomenal Gooner.
There we go.
Like, you have to give it to him. You have to admit that
Yeah.
he would be phenomenal at gooning.
There we
It'd
go.
be really annoying.
Yeah, he would be like the most annoying Gooner on like Twitter.
All right, I'm scrolling through questions here because people are just yapping. Shrimp biscuit 420. Question: Elijah Burke?
Yeah.
Love him. Black Pope.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Everyone loves him except CM Punk.
And, he doesn't seem to be such a good guy. He doesn't seem to be such a good guy anymore, does he? All right. C Stump, would Tadeo Yosada been a better ECW champ than Shane Douglas? Question mark. Discuss.
No, because I think the vibes would have been off. I don't think he would have been brought the same. What people need to remember is that an integral part of the Shane Douglas success was his sleazy, rambling, go nowhere promos. And I don't think that Yasuda would have captured that same energy that was, even in the moment, people still kind of made fun of it, but it was perfect for its moment. You have to watch Shane Douglas in 1997 through 1997 eyes to get anything out of it. And again, I just think Yasuda would bring different vibes, and they wouldn't be ECW arena vibes.
Great stuff. All right. Damage need to know, was Shannon Moore really a poser, or was CM Punk just a dick?
Do you guys remember there being a Shannon Moore CM Punk beef?
Nope. Can't say I
I'm
did.
looking it up. We'll circle back to this one. I'm looking up.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Scrolling. Eamon, what guidelines do you have to ensure that VPR is brand safe?
Well, this is a perfect opportunity. I was going to save it for the very end of the show, but we have actually just been obtained by Fandom. So I'm very excited to promote brand safe content for Fandom in all of our endeavors. And, it's just very exciting. Like we were talking about our homepage, and now we can just make sure the most intrusive ads in the world are there whenever you check our homepage. And it's just a really exciting time for being brand safe. We're also changing our content. Instead of podcasts and articles about wrestling, we are just doing guides to WWE video games. So it's a really exciting time to be on violentpeople.co.
We are just
We
doing
will
match
have-
recaps going forward.
No match recaps, just video game content and the cheapest
Okay.
possible, most SEO friendly garbage that we can put a
Lists
bunch
of
of
what you
ads
can
on.
buy on, lists of what you can buy on the island in the PS5 next gen version of WWE 2K25.
All right.
I did look up Shannon. So the Shannon Moore CM Punk, they had a feud in WWE ECW. So this is why I didn't know about this. Their feud was about CM Punk calling Shannon Moore a poser, and this is when Shannon Moore was getting into tattoos, getting into steroids, had the big mohawk, and he supposedly had to get rid of his Prince of Punk gimmick because WWE brought in CM Punk. And there had to be no brand confusion about who was the Punk in WWE.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Anyway, my answer is I'm on Team CM Punk there. Shannon Moore sucks.
Agreed.
Oh, shit. All right, take it easy. Take it easy. All right, Tsunami Poppy. Who is winning the NBA if all the players couldn't jump?
Probably the Nuggets. I mean, Jokic doesn't need to jump. He's
Yeah.
not your athletic freak, but he's still doing freaky shit. I think it's Jokic. I think it's the Nugs.
I'm just imagining basketball with like the Magno boots from Face Off.
Who has a
Never
bunch?
seen him.
Who has like a bunch of tall guys? Who's got like just massive tall guys? I mean, the Knicks do have Cat and Mitchell.
I was thinking of the Thunder.
Thunder with
Just a
Chet,
bunch of lanky fuckers.
Yeah, it might be the Thunder.
According to Google AI, the Los Angeles Lakers have the highest average roster height in the NBA, averaging 6 feet and 7.68 inches. They are followed closely by the Denver Nuggets.
They don't have a center
at
on the
6
roster.
feet and 7.13 inches.
Yeah,
The
I'm taking the
Lakers have
Nuggets here.
remained the tallest team despite their shift to a quote small ball strategy.
Cavs are pretty tall.
Well, they're gonna win the league with or without jumping.
All right, there we go. All right, moving on. Tim.
Well, we got to find out
Oh,
who's
that's
the
okay.
shortest team. The shortest team is the Knicks.
That's not true. That's not
At
true.
an average height 6 feet 4.31 inches.
Did we answer? I'm back now, guys. Did we answer Cole's question about the Lions draft?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Cole, question for Chris. Why did your Detroit Lions have such a shit draft? I give it an F.
It's because they don't know what they're doing. My objective metrics of NFL team drafting, know what's best, know the positional value and scheme and fits and everything the best, and it's not just like the dumbest possible content farm of draft analysis.
Now, Chris, I'm on your side. I want to dump in that article as much as you, but I went to do some research. I'm like, let me look at this objectively, and I go Detroit Lions draft grades, and I see a local Michigan paper, and it says, "What do the experts in quotes say about the Lions draft?" I was like, well, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign if that's how the new local paper's approaching it. These so-called experts, all of them.
They just had a boring draft. Like, they drafted 2 guards They drafted a defensive tackle that stops the run, and then they traded up for a wide receiver that like nobody had on their radar, which is I think the big controversy, other than like not drafting an edge rusher until later. And so like they had one big reach and then drafted a bunch of like boring guys that fit the team. And that's not exciting, so you give that like a low grade.
Like an F.
Yeah, you give it an F.
Fair
Unlike the Browns, who did
The trick is draft all the quarterbacks.
just draft a bunch of later round quarterbacks. Just
What
draft
could
I
go
did
wrong?
find that funny.
later round quarterbacks, and it's actually tremendous value and good for your team.
Well, listen, as a fan of the Browns, lifelong fan of the Browns, when you bring on Deshaun Watson, every time you get a different quarterback, it excites me. So it's a good plan.
That's true. I will take like whatever like bullshit like media circus that Shador brings. Like I'm taking that over the worst person in the world.
Over an actual predator monster. Yeah, Shador seems great.
This whole thing is asinine. None of it makes sense. They don't really explain what's going on in any of the draft grades. It's perfect.
It's objective.
Yeah,
It's objective without explaining anything.
I have to Google that word real quick. It might mean something different than I think.
It's like they outlined, hey, we're going to use math. And then they at no point actually discuss the math on a grade by grade basis. So it's like, oh, Browns have an A+. Why? Fucking what do I know? Nothing, I guess.
They
That's
traded
why
down.
we
If you
have
trade
fixed the
down,
quotes.
draft experts love that every time.
Well, Giants got an A+. They traded up.
That is confusing. You're right.
So, but he's a quarterback. Quarterback. Gotta consider that. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. That's the show, guys. I think we kind of crushed it here.
Yeah, no, it went off without a hitch, really.
I don't think there were any issues that I have.
Well, I just can't wait for next week to tell you guys all about the tech problems I was having while recording a podcast.
I'm excited to hear about them. Doing our big topics next week? Tune in to find out.
Yeah, that's okay. Good answer.